Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the FUNimation dub of episode 56 of Dragonball Super. We begin this episode where we last left off. We're in Future Trunks' timeline, and members of the human resistance attack Goku with rocket launchers because they mistakenly believe Goku to be Goku Black. Luckily though, Future Trunks is able to quickly clear up the confusion, and he explains to the resistance members that even though Goku and Goku Black share a striking resemblance to one another, they are not the same person, and Goku and Vegeta, for that matter, have actually come with Future Trunks to this timeline so that they can help them defeat Goku Black. Future Trunks, though, is quite surprised when he hears from the Resistance members that they were aware of the plan for Future Trunks to travel to another timeline to recruit help. And he's even more surprised when he finds out that they heard about this plan from Future Mai. So the two Resistance members take the three Saiyans underground through the West City subway station, to be more specific. And while they're down there, they do see several other members of the human resistance, and they see Future Mai is there as well. So Future Trunks and Future Mai have a moment where they show happiness that the other is okay. And after this reunion, Future Mai takes the three Saiyans and the two Resistance members from earlier deeper into the subway station in the area where the refugees are taking shelter. And while they're there, Vegeta reveals that Bulma gave Vegeta something to bring to this alternate timeline. It's a container full of capsules, and each capsule contain a banquet or various meals so that the refugees can have an enjoyable meal during these rough times. So Vegeta opens up one of the capsules so that the refugees can have one of these great meals, and then he gives the container with the rest of the capsules to Future Mai to hold on to for later on. During the meal, Goku recognizes a familiar face, and this individual happens to be Future Yajirobe, and like his main timeline counterpart, he's voiced by Mike McFarland, and he looks a little differently. Future Yajirobe is wearing a white vest in addition to Yajirobe's usual outfit, and he also has a beard on his face now. Future Trunks is actually surprised to see Future Yajirobe because he thought Future Yajirobe perished against the androids all those years ago, and Future Yajirobe clarifies that he almost did perish against the androids when they attacked Korin's tower, but he was saved when Future Korin gave him the last of the sensu beans, and that's how he's alive now. After the meal is finished, the three Saiyans and Future Mai head back outside, and they're preparing their next attack on Goku Black. But before that, Goku and Vegeta both play rock, paper, scissors to see who will get to fight Goku Black this time around, and Vegeta ends up winning. So after that's decided, the three Saiyans head to a courtyard somewhere within the ruins of the city. Future Mai is at a further distance away, but she intends to watch the fight from this further distance. The three Saiyans then launch an energy attack in order to get Goku Black's attention, which succeeds. Goku Black is a little surprised to see that they managed to make it back to this timeline because he destroyed the time machine, unaware of the fact that they had another time machine on hand. And Vegeta powers up to Super Saiyan Blue in order to challenge the evil Goku. But Goku Black doesn't seem to be fazed at all when he sees Super Saiyan Blue, and Future Trunks notices this. While Vegeta is fighting Goku Black, Goku says that he kind of understands how Vegeta felt during the episodes dealing with duplicate Vegeta and when Goku fought the Saiyan Prince's duplicate. And Future Trunks also takes a moment to bring something up to Goku's attention. He points out that Goku Black was talking about mortals as if he were a god, but Future Trunks remembers that when he first encountered Goku Black claimed he was Goku, and Goku Black is shown to have become more powerful than when he fought Goku back a few episodes ago, when Goku Black made it to the main timeline with his time ring and an abnormality that was caused by the time machine. And that is reminiscent of the Zenkai boost, the ability of Saiyans to grow more powerful when they recover from battle. And so because Goku Black is more powerful than he was before, he's able to hold his own against Vegeta in Super Saiyan Blue. And then Goku Black reveals yet another Saiyan trait. He transforms into a Super Saiyan form, and based on the way the aura looks, it seems to be Super Saiyan Blue, except the transformation doesn't have a blue color to it. No, his eyes are now gray in color, and his hair is now pink in color. And Goku Black declares this form's name to be Super Saiyan Rose, and he proceeds to go on a monologue about how beautiful this form is, and how the form has allowed him to master Goku's powers and claim them as his own. And after transforming, Goku Black has a very clear advantage over Vegeta, and he even describes the Saiyan Prince as an opening act, and then he changes his mind to make the analogy more he now uses the analogy that the Saiyan Prince is an appetizer for the main course. So, and he manages to finish off Vegeta with an energy blade attack, and it's very similar to the attack that Zamasu used against the Barbarian in the previous episode. So Future Trunks goes to tend to his father's injuries, and Goku powers up to Super Saiyan Blue to challenge his evil counterpart. But while Future Trunks thinks that they're evenly matched at first, Vegeta quickly clarifies that no, they're not evenly matched. And we do see Goku Black has the advantage over Goku. Goku Black is then preparing to launch his own version of the Kamehameha, but suddenly a voice calls out and tells Goku Black to stop, and he says that he won't allow Goku Black to act on his own anymore. And then a beam of light comes down from the sky, and someone is descending from this beam of light. Who is this someone? This someone turns out to be Zamasu, but his face is drawn slightly differently compared to how Zamasu's face was drawn in previous episodes. And instead of a pair of orange Patara earrings, he now has only one green Patara earring, and he's wearing it on the same ear that Goku Black is wearing his single Patara earring. And the episode ends with Zamasu telling Goku Black, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he essentially says, have you forgotten our agreement? We agreed that I would be the one to have the honor to finish him off. And he's glaring at Goku as he says this. And like I said, that's how we end the episode. So there you go. This episode had some pretty big revelations. But first, let's talk about the smaller revelations first. Namely, we, the audience, found out from a previous episode that Future Mai is actually alive still. So this is the episode where Future Trunks finds out that Future Mai is alive and he's reunited with her. And I do have to say their reunion was rather heartwarming. It was a really nice moment. And we also find out that Future Yajirobe is actually still alive. He didn't perish against the androids. But the explanation for how he survived, I found that to be a pretty believable explanation because, yeah, Yajirobe pretty much stayed with Korin after Dragon Ball or Classic Dragon Ball, and throughout Dragon Ball Z he stayed on Korin's tower. And Korin is the individual who makes the sensu beans, or yeah, he grows the sensu beans. So yeah, I found that pretty believable that future Yajirobe would be able to acquire the last sensu bean before future Korin perished. So that was a believable explanation, I felt. And I'm glad to see that they decided to include future Yajirobe because Yajirobe didn't really get to do Yajirobe didn't have too much of an important role after the events of the Saiyan saga. So I like that they decided to bring him in, or his future counterpart anyway, his Future Trunks timeline counterpart is going to play a role in this saga. I thought that was a nice touch to give more prevalence to a character who didn't really get to do much for quite some time now. Now on to the main the big revelations for this episode. So Goku Black is back again after just getting a few brief flashbacks or image training moments or nightmare sequences. And yeah, he now has his own transformation, Super Saiyan Rose, which seems to be a corrupted Super Saiyan Blue in some way. Now, the manga actually offers an explanation for that, but that also involves a detail that the dubbed anime hasn't gotten to yet, so I'll hold off on mentioning that for the sake of the dub-only watchers who have no knowledge of, who didn't read the spoilers, so I won't mention that just yet. But yeah, and because of certain details that haven't been revealed in the dub yet, I won't mention it now, but for those who are dub-only watchers that didn't read the spoilers, they managed to avoid the spoilers. This does add more to the mystery about Goku Black and his connection with Zamasu, because as Future Trunks pointed out, Goku Black is talking about mortals as if he wasn't a mortal, and yet he seems to show Saiyan traits or Saiyan genetic traits, like the Zenkai boost and a Super Saiyan transformation. And Zamasu and Goku Black are standing side by side with one another. So some of my relatives are watching this and they're dub-only watchers. They didn't read the spoilers. So it's really interesting to see their reactions to these revelations and seeing how they try to figure out this mystery as it continues on before it's eventually revealed in the dub. So yeah, for the dub-only watchers with no knowledge of the spoilers to come, it definitely adds to the mystery about Goku Black, which is a pretty fun mystery, I have to say. And as for the Super Saiyan Rose transformation, oh, that's right, that's a pretty interesting detail. Yes, it's pronounced Rose, not Rose, and the reason for that is because the transformation is actually named after a French wine, rosé. That's the name of a French wine. And that's interesting because alcohol names or name types of alcohol have been the theme naming for the destroyers and their assistants, because Beerus, beer, Weiss, whiskey, Champa, champagne, Vados, Calvados. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting detail there that they gave this transformation the same theme naming as the destroyers and their assistants. And as for for Goku Black, there's another detail. I mentioned this before, but there was the possibility of a second voice coming for Goku Black, and Yeah, now that Super Saiyan Rose has been revealed in the dubbed anime, I can talk about that now without fearing giving away details for dub only watchers. But essentially, yes, this was the second voice because in Xenoverse 2, Goku Black had two distinct voices. His normal form had a low growl, which wasn't carried over in the anime dub, and his Rose form had a British accent. Now, the reason for that is I mentioned this before, at least with the normal form. When the recording for the lines for Xenoverse 2 for Goku Black's normal form happened, this happened before the subbed version of the Future Trunks saga, either just before it started in Japan or it might have just barely started. So either way, there was not enough context for the character of Goku Black. And Toei Animation refused to tell Funimation anything more about the character because they were afraid of important details being leaked out before those revelations happened in the anime itself. So essentially, Toei Animation only told Funimation about the only thing they told him about Goku Black is he's evil Goku. So that's why he had that low growl voice. That was all they had. That was based on the only information they were given about the character. By the time the recording for the lines for Super Saiyan Rose happened in Xenoverse 2, they had more context for the character because the big revelation about the character happened. And now with regards to the Rose form, yes, he had a British accent in Xenoverse 2. It was a very obvious British accent. And then in the video game Fighters, he still had the British accent, but it was much more subtle compared to Xenoverse 2. So here's the question here. Does Super Saiyan Rose in the anime dub have the British accent? A lot of people actually are debating about that from what I've observed. Because I've seen some people saying, oh no, he doesn't have the accent anymore. But other people are saying, yeah, I hear the accent. And others are like, so Goku Black turned British when he transforms? They said that. And in my case, I do hear the accent, but it's very subtle. Like, it's even more subtle than it was in Fighters. And I don't know if I'd still call it a British accent, though, necessarily. Like, I've seen some people call it a posh accent, and I've seen some people call it a regal accent, sort of like how Chris Sabat portrays Vegeta. And so there is a difference, but it's very subtle. Like, it was more obvious in Xenoverse 2. It was subtle, more subtle than that in Fighters, and it's even more subtle than it was in Fighters for me. So that's the best way I can describe it. And to be fair, even Goku Black's normal form, the voice he had for his normal form still sounded different here than it did in earlier episodes. So this kind of ties into what Sean Schimmel mentioned in a Twitter post where he said that the voice was going to change over the course of some episodes. So who knows what's going to happen in some later episodes, but yeah, I do notice a difference, but it's a subtle difference. And this does tie in with with Sean Schimmel's usual performance with Goku. Sean Schimmel tends to give Goku different voices for his different Super Saiyan forms. It's more obvious in Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 4, but it's there in Super Saiyans 1 and 2 as well. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, Zamasu also, people are debating if Zamasu has a British accent in the Funimation dub or not. And I compared Zamasu's voice with Lex Luthor from Superman Doomsday. That's a character that James Marsters also portrayed. And comparing the two clips, it does sound like Zamasu has an accent, but again, it's a very subtle accent. And that's the other big detail. Yeah, Zamasu is appearing side by side with Goku Black. And we do know where the other earring that Goku Black doesn't have is. So, yeah, that was quite a bit to talk about, but there we go. This was definitely a very important episode. And We'll talk about the next one when it airs on Toonami. Take care, and until next time.